Welcome everybody to Hobbies Unlocked. Get your keys out. Welcome back to another Hobbies Unlocked, where I'm still on the hunt for the most hobbies. I'm trying to find them all so that we can all enjoy them. If there's a hobby that you don't get to talk about much, this is the show for you. And for this beautiful day, I have a friend of mine who, looks like he's got a lot of hobbies, and he's a good improviser friend of mine. Give it up for Chuck Meyer, everybody.
Hey, Justin, how you doing?
Hey, and just so you know, there's no applause.
It's in my head.
Okay.
It's always.
You can have that applause and everything like that too. I feel like every time I've done episodes so far, people are like, yeah, and they're like, bravo, yeah, and everything like that. It's like, actually, there's no applause. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But no, we're here today to just kind of talk about kind of like what are you interested in, like things that people don't necessarily get to know about. Chuck, have you ever been on a podcast before?
I've never been on a podcast. This is my first podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That kind of surprised me because I feel like you have a lot of kind of like information. I can't believe people don't just come down the street and just like, hey, you know something, don't you?
I think I'm old enough that podcasts were just coffee shops back when I was younger. Yeah.
Just coffee shops.
Just coffee shops.
When people used to talk to each other back then.
Yeah. What are you reading over there? So,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, why don't these kids just talk to each other at a coffee shop anymore? They gotta make it for content.
I told you I'm old. I'm old.
Kids. Honestly, if anything, like podcasting is like kind of like radio shows resurrecting.
Agreed.
It's just like bringing it back.
Yeah, it is. There's just something satisfying about listening to a couple people, having a good conversation. Agreed. I'm really excited. I'm excited. I've done other sorts of things, but never a podcast. So I get to add that to my list of
absolutely.
things I've done.
And, and God hoping this all records. For those of you listening, this is a new recording of episode 3. I had a recording for an episode that I forgot to hit record or it just stopped recording on me. And it's not going to exist. So R.I.P. Melissa Curley, she's not dead. It's just I accidentally didn't record the episode.
Her content is.
Yes. So I accidentally tricked her into just talking like we're at a coffee shop, like we used to back in the day.
Nice.
Getting in there. So we've made double sure that this is recording this time.
Excellent.
And if it's not, maybe this is just my life. My life is just like, hey, I'm so introverted that the only way I could talk to my friends is in the format of a microphone in front of me. But no, I want to know about like kind of like people's hobbies. Cause like when I came up with this idea, it was just like, I feel like we all kind of do these things on our own time, and there's never really a good place to bring it up.
Yeah.
People sometimes think that's I can't talk about that because people wouldn't be interested. And it's like, I'm guaranteed there's people that are interested. They just don't know that people also like that thing.
Agreed.
So Chuck, is there like a hobby that you've done or something that you brought for me today that you kind of like doing?
You are in luck because I am a collector of hobbies. I, over the years, have done so many things and sort of left them on the wayside and gone and done other things along the way. How meta can we get? Or do we like to get really into like a specific hobby?
Honestly, it's fine. I mean,
like, have you had the conversation about, is it a hobby if you've made money doing it?
That we did talk about that a little bit on my the episode I filmed with Adam Vyers, because he did talk about improv, which is like how most of us know each other. That's how the Roost network was kind of built on, was just like an improv theater and everything like that too. So we did kind of talk a little bit about that. It's like, does it stop becoming a hobby because you've been paid for it?
Right.
And I think ultimately what we talked about and what I feel is that, unless it's like it like kind of provides your living, then I feel like that's when it stops becoming a hobby. And that's like, oh, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I've, like if I sold Pokemon cards or something like that, it's like I technically like it's still my hobby, but
Right.
I've like made money off of it.
That's true. That's true.
So it's like, you know, I think where it becomes more than a hobby, and I don't know. I feel like saying it like that makes like hobby seem like it's like a negative. It's really not. But then it's like more of, you know, it's not really the thing you do all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm interested to see what you're about to say.
I've been thinking a lot about, you know, hobbies and like what qualifies and what doesn't, like what is a hobby. So I'm curious. I was curious to hear about like the, you know, like, okay, if I made $20 doing stand up once, is it still a hobby? If I shook down all the kids in my neighborhood for their ice cream money to perform a magic show in my backyard, is that a hobby?
I think that might be a crime.
Now, I should say that I was a child too at the time. If that makes a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes
that definitely is a good qualifier.
I should probably have put that in there as well. I was one of the children. Yeah.
Okay.
So my friend and I, I was interested in magic for a while. We can talk about that. I collected comic books for a while. Yeah. I've done obviously stand up and improv, as you know. I've played in bands.
That's something I know a little bit about you, and that to be like, oh my gosh, I feel like you and I like we've done like stand up and improv together and stuff like that too. So I kind of know a little bit more about that side. But so much of improv is like we go up there and like do a character, a scene of people who know each other, but they're not us specifically. So
exactly.
Tell me about magic. Like, I feel like, you know, there's people have their own conceptions of like, you know, what magicians are, like what magic do. What were you doing? Like, was this all when you were a kid?
Oh yeah. This was when I was, early elementary school. I had a cousin, Scott, who was a stage magician in like high school and college, like literally like sawing women in half, like making them disappear in boxes,
like the real
legitimate
show.
Like he had like all of this stuff, amazing stuff. And there was a magic shop that he had buddies there. Yeah. And so my mom and dad would take me to the magic shop. And the way have you ever been to a magic shop before?
Not really, but like I've heard, like it's crazy to say it like this, but I've heard tale of magic shops. And
magic shops are a lot of like there's nothing like a magic shop.
Well, it's like I took a peek and like saw one, and then like I turned around and it was gone.
There is a magic shop.
Is there on the strip
Columbus? Here? There's right on the strip. Like I can't remember what it's called, but there's a magic shop just down High Street from here. I'm not going to plug it, but you all can go Google Map it yourself.
Go find find this place.
But okay, so this is what it's like. So you walk into a magic shop, probably in a strip mall, maybe on a street. There's usually someone behind the counter, and they'll welcome you like they would any shop. But inevitably, they will start doing a trick for you.
That was going to be my first question. Is like, if you are hired at a magic shop, is it like you working any other job where it's just like, hey, you're just being cash registers, like, hey, you need to at least be a little bit of a magician. Like you got to at least be doing the coin trick, you know, where it's behind your ear.
Right. And keep in mind that there are different types of magic, right? There's the big stage magic. There's sleight of hand where it's all kind of skill based. And then there are tricks. Yeah. Right. And tricks
so that's
are
different than sleight of hand, you would say.
Yeah, I would say it's different in so much as like sleight of hand is like making something disappear, or I'm making a lot of gestures with my hands here, but making like a coin disappear, or like kind of, you know, pushing a card on someone. You can all do that with regular stuff. Yeah. But a trick is like something that is built specifically to be magical, right? Okay. So it might be like a deck of cards that are marked in some way or have some sort of fold to them, or there might be something with magnets or some or a secret compartment. All of those are tricks, right? That's something that's built specifically to do magic. Yeah. And obviously stage magicians do that on a large scale. They've got like giant boxes to put people in. But so when you go to a magic shop, they're selling tricks. Yeah. They're in bags, they're in boxes. And so they want you to buy a trick. And so they show you a trick. Yeah. And the hopes that you'll be like, that's cool, I want to do that, right? And so it's kind of interesting, right? Because they want to show you a trick that they think is going to be good for you. So if you're just,
they're trying to like give you like reading you basically, like, okay, I think you might be good for this one.
Yeah. So if you're a cold call, it might just be like, here's one that kind of is, surprising and interesting and cheap that maybe I can hook you. Yeah. Right. And then as you go in more, it's like, oh, Justin, you're really into like the card stuff. So let me show you this amazing new trick we just got in. Right.
That would be crazy. Like also like I now I'm like envisioning things in like the common day of like a magic shop. Like are they like like leaving like voicemails where it's just like, hey Chuck, we got a new box in. This one, it's like, you're not going to believe what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Although now that I say that out loud, like I said, I did collect comics too.
Yeah.
That it feels very
That's
similar.
what they would do. Comics,
like I feel like, because you're making me realize there's a lot of parallels. Like you walk in the front door and they're like, oh my gosh, have you seen the new, issue
they're like,
Iguana Man or whatever.
Iguana Man. Oh my God.
It's amazing.
Where's the Iguana Man movie?
He's not an iguana. He's a gecko. It's a twist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
And they just labeled him Iguana Man.
Yeah.
Crazy. I guess the real Iguana Man is Godzilla.
But is he really a man? I mean,
he's not really a man, but he is, at least I remember in the Matthew Broderick Godzilla, they do show it's like a marine iguana that gets hit by the nuke. And then becomes Godzilla.
Right.
So
Godzilla is the original Iguana Man. I'll give you that.
Yeah, exactly. So if anything, it's just an homage to Godzilla. Anyways, but yeah, there's like that like thing. Yeah, like the comic book store. Same thing with like any like your local like kind of collectible shops, like card shops and stuff like that. They're like always like, hey, I know you were looking for that card. We just got it in and everything like that. But like the idea of the magic part of it's just kind of funny to me because it's like, hey. Like, do they tell you like how it works when they're selling it to you?
I feel like, when they sell you the trick, they show you how it's done. So they open it up, they'll show you how it's done. And then now you know how to do it. You practice it and then you go home and, I would practice in the car and then I would have all of these tricks, all around my bedroom. So inevitably you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do with these tricks?
Yeah.
Right. And so my friend and I decided that we were going to have a magic show in the backyard. And so, we rode around on our bikes and we managed to rope all of the kids in and set up a card table in the backyard.
Yeah.
And we had like the world's worst magic show. So, because I was not.
Even at your age, you were like able to tell us like, this is not.
I didn't realize I'm doing like small scale tricks to a large audience. They're not going well, all of them.
They can't see what you're doing.
And my dexterity is that of, a 7-year-old. So,
classic low dexterity builds on 7-year-olds.
Oh my gosh. Especially, those of us that were bedroom dwellers in the first place. So it's not like,
it's like they let this kid out and this is what he's doing.
This is what he's doing. And I did a talent show too. And that one even worse. I did
because that's probably even a bigger stage if it's a talent show.
Oh, it was huge. It was in the gymnasium.
Of course.
And so I've got these cards and you're supposed to pick a number off of the card and then show me all the cards that have your number on it. They're kind of like bingo cards. And then there's a math that you do. And then you can figure out like, because the cards are specially designed that if the number shows up on all the cards, I'm giving away a trick. But anyway, if the number showed up on all of these cards... I'm sure
people aren't going to be able to put this together nor remember it when they actually have that in front of them.
Right. Well, plus you have to deconstruct and figure it out because it's like, okay, I give you all the cards and say your number's 15. You give me all the cards back that have 15 on it. And there's like a math that you can do with the top left numbers that'll tell you what the original number was.
Yeah.
So it's clever, but I apparently was not very good at math because I just could not get the number right. Mm-hmm. So it became a comedy routine very quickly instead of a magic act.
Basically, yeah. I think that's something that like it doesn't get talked about as much with magic. It's pretty like apparent when you go like see one in like Las Vegas or like something like a big show for a magician. It is like a performance. It's a showmanship. Yeah. I also just happened to rewatch The Prestige, which
a good movie.
Which is probably one of the better magic movies about magicians and everything like that too. So it's like the idea that it's like it's all about the performance and everything like that too. Which as a kid you're just like, oh my god, I just want to do like the thing where like I'm like have a like little ball and it disappears,
or the coin on the back of the hand.
Coin on the back of the hand, exactly. Like all the sleight of hand stuff that does not play well on stage.
No,
but it's so funny, because then it just turns into a kind of comedy performance.
And I'm a sucker for. I love when a magician like pretends that they failed at the trick. Yeah, and then they've actually like the double fool of like I'm going to fool you, and then the audience is ready. And it's like, oh no, I messed up. It's like, oh no, wait, I didn't. Look inside your left ear. I love that. But this was not that. This was just like this was the actual. No like
somebody opened an orange and there was $100 bill that they gave you at the start.
Yeah. The tension was never, and it's like comedy and magic. There's that tension and release. And
exactly.
And the tension was not released because I did not guess the number. So. the release became laughing at this poor schlub that was up there unable to guess the
number.
number.
No sympathy for a 7-year-old Magic.
No.
Like, when was the talent show? Were you a little bit older then? How long did this Magic?
My Magic career was.
When did you lose your Magic?
It was probably I lost my Magic early. No, it was like early middle school. So I would say this was probably like 2nd to 4th grade before I got distracted, and it was never like a primary hobby.
Science and normal world things.
Oh, in video games and all of the other things. Yeah. Which,
Real
by the way,
magic.
that takes me to another point about hobbies.
Yeah.
I believe truly that there is a difference between hobby and entertainment.
Okay.
Like when someone says that their hobby is video games, I would contest that.
Interesting. I want to hear this because I am somebody who feels like I kind of need to say that in the sense that like, because other people have told me that it's like, this is a hobby or something like that. But like, you wouldn't really tell somebody like maybe you would, like reading books is a hobby, but it doesn't feel like that because that one feels like a little bit more, it's got better PR, better like, it's promoted as more like an intellectual thing, whereas because gaming has some silly things to it. But I want to hear your take. I'm very curious about this.
I mean, gaming is kind of an interesting one too, right? Because I think it's consumption. I think it's entertainment. The difference, of course, is that like when you read a book or watch a movie, it's passive consumption, right? Whereas a video game, you have to interact. Now you're interacting in a way that is prescribed by the folks that made the game. Yeah. But it feels more like you're doing something, right? Yeah. And so maybe it does feel more like a hobby because it's like you're beating the game. But, and it's weird. Like I just can't stop thinking about all of this stuff. And then a sport. Is a sport a hobby, or is it is there a differentiation there? Like, is soccer your hobby? Maybe, yeah. And I think like, boy, I'm going to pontificate a little bit.
No,
do you know who
I like this.
Do you know who Zay Frank is?
No.
Okay, so Zay Frank was one of the original like internet content creators. Okay. He was really kind of figured out like viral. Well, he went viral and then tried to figure out what viral was. And one of the things that he kind of did was he did this thing called The Show, which was like a podcast before podcast. But he talked about hobbies as my fake job or my weekend job, right? And I think like there's this one idea of like hobbies. What are hobbies? Well, are they a way to pass the time? Are they a way to learn a skill? Or are they like, this is the job I wish I was doing? Like, I wish I could make money farming or gardening, but I can't. So I spend my weekends doing that, right? And so like, there are all these different flavors of hobby. Yeah. So Magic was never one that I was like, I wish this was my job. I think it was just, I really thought it was neat to get the trick and then learn how to do it and then like put it up on a shelf.
Yeah. It is like kind of an interesting thing. And I like what you're like, there's like these kind of distinctions of it. And it's like hobby itself isn't like something that you can put in a box necessarily. And there's like these kind of differences in like an opinion too. It's like, because like another thing I was thinking about earlier is like when we were talking about like, is it a hobby or is it a job or is it like what makes it, when does it stop being a hobby too? It's like, because I feel like you can say like, hey, if you got paid for this like once or twice, but it's not really paying the bills, I'll definitely abuse that and say I'm a professional in that field now. Like I've been paid to do this.
I made $20 doing stand-up. I'm a professional stand-up, Justin.
Yeah, exactly. Now, will that, bite me in the ass later on when I'm like, I'm not that good when somebody tries to hire you for that. Or it's like, I'm still working on that kind of thing too. And it's like, I feel like there are maybe some hobbies that are, I think they all have kind of like a progression to them. Yeah. Where it's like the difference being like, maybe it doesn't go into like a professional sense. Like maybe that doesn't have it. Like, but like, I think about things like when you're a collector, when you collect things, you are like spending time like progressing in that collection. You have like a goal set for yourself of like what you want to collect and what you want to get and everything like that.
And there's knowledge associated with that. Like there's like it's you understand why something is more valuable than something else. You understand how to assess them. like you're gaining skills in the course of collecting, even like video games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, oh, here's a fun fact about, like, did you know that they etched this word on the chip for this game or whatever?
Exactly.
Or there were only 600 copies of this one printed or whatever.
Or the Atari ET game. They buried those in a landfill because there were so many and it sold so poorly.
Right, exactly, to take the loss.
Exactly. So it comes with those kind of like facts. It comes with those interesting. And there's like a hobby with just video games in general. Like some people who are just collecting old games and they're not necessarily playing them. Or there are people who collect them and then play them, or collect them and then try to like 100% the game, or all this kind of other stuff to it. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about another hobby. So we talked about magician, but you were also done a lot of things as a musician.
Yes, that's right.
I think I remember just like you and I talking about that. You've been in some bands before and other stuff like that. But like, when did that start? Was that also like a thing where it was like, you know, gathering kids into a backyard concert as a kid, or was it something that like, was this later in life?
That was that started in high school.
Okay.
Like so many people before me, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, that was where did that start? That started, I think it started through technology. I think so. I was into computers at the time. Yeah. And this was right around the time that they were starting to do what's called MIDI, which is like essentially you can hook instruments and computers together and let the computers control the instruments, or let the instruments record to the computer. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. And so originally, like, Yamaha had created this thing called the WX7, which essentially looked like a clarinet, but it was electronic and you could play it.
I feel like I may have seen a video of these.
It's like the craziest. It's like if they were like, how do we make a keyboard cooler? And they came up with the keytar. They're like, okay, now how do we make it nerdier? And they came up with the WX7. It's like, what if we made it look like you were playing a clarinet when you played the keyboard? Would that be cooler?
It's like, hey, would you guys think this would be cooler? Like, you know, it's almost like hey, like, we're, you know, keyboard marketing has just not been doing well. Do you think you guys, if you played it as like a clarinet, that would be cooler?
Could you make me
just some nervous
Kenny
guy
G
pitching these? Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Kenny G just came out. It's like, oh, we gotta keep up with the market. We gotta get something out there that makes people feel like Kenny G.
Yeah, but to me, it just looked like something from Star Wars or something. Like, that is the coolest thing ever.
And that definitely looks like something like the Cantina band was
playing. Totally. You should look it up. I think it's called a WX7, but I wanted one. I'd never played an instrument before in my life, mind you, nothing. And I wanted this WX7. And so my parents were like, I don't know, whatever. So we went to the music shop and it was whatever, over $1,000. And you had to know how to play clarinet. You know, they're like, no, this is ridiculous. But through the course of all of that, I managed to talk them into getting me a keyboard, a Yamaha keyboard. And I took some lessons and I learned how to play that. And then I found some like-minded nerds that would all sit in the library together. And one of them would just like write lyrics on an Apple IIe in the library because the library had a computer. And then we just started kind of getting together and playing music. I got another friend who played guitar. And so we started doing that. Yeah. And after a while, like, I didn't really like the keyboard because I realized I had to stand in one place. So I switched to bass. And I kind of never looked back. So I played bass guitar. And then from there, I was working in a coffee shop. Oh, and
you mean a podcast shop?
A podcast shop. Yes, it's an early 90s podcast shop. And one of the, I was, it was actually a 24-hour restaurant. That's a lie. It's not a coffee shop. It was a diner. We just always would go there and get coffee because it was open 24 hours. But I got a job there as a waiter, server. And one of the other waiters was like, you play bass, come play in my band. Yeah. And so that was the first band I ever got into that would play open mics and play things like that.
What's the open mic scene like for like bands? Like,
well, this was the 90s, so it was massive. Every place, like every coffee shop, every place had an open mic of some sort or another. Yeah. But so I started playing through different places, and then that band, sort of our apex, we had double apex. What do you call a double apex? The two high points, we'll just say.
2 high points? Yeah. The double peak?
Yeah. So the 2 high points for that, there was this amazing venue in Cincinnati called Sudsy Malone's, which was a music venue / laundromat. kind of like Dirty Dungarees up here. Yeah. And so we played an afternoon show there. I don't know how we got an afternoon show but we were underage, so they let us play an afternoon show there. And then our
we got to get you back in before curfew.
Yeah, exactly. We can't let you in when we're serving. And then the other one was we played, there was a Labor Day fireworks display in Cincinnati. Yeah. And TGI Fridays hired us to be the house band. They had a restaurant right on the river. So they sold tickets, and we were the house band for that.
You were the TGI Fridays house band.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was our first real paid gig. My first real paid gig.
Was it paid in money or mozzarella sticks?
No. It was a mix. They gave us both.
They gave us both. Yeah.
Oh, we were living the dream.
Yeah. It was just a clasp of mozzarella sticks and a handshake.
Oh, it was so good. A very, very saucy handshake.
We couldn't say, hey man, this is all under the table.
Yeah, no, this is done with marinara, so we know it's real.
That's how you know. That's the TGI Fridays way.
But yeah, so and that just kind of led, and I played in other bands. I played in a band that was, I don't know, popular among a few folks, a couple dozen people in Cincinnati, called Borgia Popes for a while.
Okay,
and that was the first band I ever toured with. So we played.
Really? I didn't know you toured.
Oh yeah, so we played in Detroit. We played. Where else were we? We played a bunch of different places. Detroit was the biggest show. And we played Cleveland. I think we played Chicago. But anyway, so that was my first touring band. And then the rest of the band moved away. And so I didn't play for a while. And then I moved to Boston. And in Boston, I started playing in bands again up there.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. And then when I moved to New York, everywhere I went, I kind of would go and look for a band. And people are always looking for a bass player. No one wants to play bass.
No. But I feel that's you don't get as much glory as the singer or the lead guitar or the drummer.
Yeah. And it's sort of, I think the running joke is, let's see, what's my favorite one? Why was the bass player worried that he locked the keys in the van?
Why?
Because the drummer was stuck inside. That's one of my favorite musician jokes. Anyway, and I loved it. I always loved playing, and I always said that it was better than therapy. So to go and be able to perform. It was never a full-time job, but it was, it took up a lot of time.
Yeah, but it was a big passion for you.
It was
for you, and to be able to do it. Is there still any inkling to get out there and just do stuff music-wise today?
So I mean, that's the funny thing about being a bass player, right? It's not I'm just going to take my bass down to.
It's the old we're just looking for a bass player.
Yeah. Well, there's two things about it. I can't go to an open mic by myself. No one's going to sit and watch me be playing the bass line from Freebird and, singing. But also you have to get a group together. It's improv, right?
Absolutely.
You have to get a group, and then you got to try and match 4 or 6 schedules together.
Yeah.
And as you get older, that gets harder and more complicated. So that's kind of why when I moved to Columbus, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go through that whole rigmarole again. I'm going to go find something else to do with my time.
And that's is that your origin into improv?
That's my origin into improv.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're if I can't play bass, you'll be damn sure I'll be playing the air bass. Just all Chuck's scenes, if you haven't seen them, they're all bass related.
Yeah.
All these brings up the basses, here comes bass guy again.
Oh yeah. It's oh man, we're trapped in this mine. What are we gonna do? We're gonna slap at a bass.
And that's always the catchphrase. And I'm God, gosh.
It's that's not even yours. That's Jason Segel's, right? It's not even your catchphrase, Jeff.
You're stealing. You're just quoting movies. You can't just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's honestly what kind of ended up with the stand-up too, right?
Yeah.
It's the improv was oh geez, this is that same scheduling nightmare a lot. So
absolutely. But I mean, I think that's again, I feel we all use kind of hobby in maybe different ways. And I hope that people don't see it as a negative way and everything like that too. Cause that's how I would see it a lot of times, where it just feels it's being lowered to just something that you do in your spare time, but it could be something that you're passionate about. It's just maybe something that you don't want to do professionally.
Yeah. Can I throw something at you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, please, watch the face.
Oh yeah. It's a small room. Magician got me up on a stage.
Yes.
Right. Musician got me like learning how to create and perform and sort of build up confidence and like, this is my stuff and learn how to present it properly.
Yeah.
Right. And then improv, of course, is that, but it's with dialogue and character, and stand up as well. Is like holding an audience by yourself, which is, it's an incredible feeling. You've done it.
Absolutely.
I mean, like people who've gone up and given a speech. Giving a speech is, I've given speeches, I've presented, which is kind of what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
But there's something about holding an audience by yourself that is just, there's something really magical about it. But I would argue my day job, my career is in tech.
Yeah.
But I'm not just a programmer. I'm a developer advocate. So what that means is that I have to go take technical skills and convey them to other people and present on stages. And I've done something called live coding, where literally you just get on like a Twitch stream and just start writing code.
Wow.
And I don't think I could have done any of those things without my hobbies.
Yeah.
Like the hobbies aren't the job, but the hobbies flavor the job. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's like it adds into the job itself, and it kind of changes everything. That was the original reason I did it improv, because I convinced myself, well, if I don't like it, at least I could use it towards my job. And that was something that would be helpful. And it's like that has changed a lot. It has changed a lot about everything. So that's like what these people don't talk about with these hobbies is like, or if they, you keep them to yourself, it's just like, what do they mean to you? Like, what do they do for you? What is it for you? You don't have to have like, the hobby doesn't have to be life changing, but it's like what people don't understand about people that like enjoy to do these things is that this built camaraderie for them. It built, presence for them and everything like that. So I think that's a great way to end things and wrap things up today.
Yeah.
Just that little philosophical, like, looking into yourself and your hobbies and how they've shaped you and everything like that. But I've been trying to do this with all my guests. They talk about their hobbies the whole day, so I like to share something of mine.
Yeah.
So I want to give you a Pokemon card.
Ooh.
That is almost like a kind of like a tarot reading, just kind of like based on the vibes of things like that.
Okay.
Or just things I know about that person or something like that. So I want to give you
that person, aren't I?
This card, it's called Furfrou.
Furfrou?
Furfrou is the poodle Pokemon.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like one of the closest ones that reminds me of your dog that I just got to meet.
Oh my gosh.
And everything like that too.
Oh, my Rufus. Yeah.
Yes. So nice. I wanted to give you something that kind of mirrored that a little bit.
I love it. He's got that Rufus vibe to him. He's all shaggy and very cute. And it's a shiny card too.
It's got a little bit of reflection in it too. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything that you want to plug, Chuck? There's nothing that we don't know exactly the dates that these are going to come out. So try to keep it to things that, or maybe it's just like, hey, do you want people to follow you on social media?
No, I mean, I'm kind of just out there roaming around doing my thing. I don't really have anything to plug. If you want to take a walk down memory lane, you can go to popes.com to look at what band I was in back in the 90s.
Heck yeah.
Maybe
we get a resurgence, maybe a reunion tour.
Yeah. If you want to see what I was doing in New York, you can do a search for Little, Big, Golden Sweater Vest was a song with a great video that we did where we went all through Times Square and across the Brooklyn Bridge and all sorts of fun stuff. So that's on YouTube. It's hard to find because there's a Russian band called Little Big that came after us that just kind of ate all of our search engine, optimization.
Yeah,
so.
And that was the downfall of the band, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I'm just glad to be on your podcast. This was really fun. Thanks, Justin.
Of course, yeah. And if you're listening, go follow the podcast on Hobbies Unlocked Pod. Go follow the Nest Theater where we do all this stuff, the Roost Network, and watch all the other shows that are coming out. There's going to be a bunch of other podcasts that are around, so go check them out. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to a podcast on the Roost Nest Podcasting Network, executive produced by the Nest Theater and Comedy Arts Center. Co-founded and funded by Rance Rizzuto and Tara DiFrancisco. For more information on the Nest Theater, go to nesttheater.com. Roost Nest Podcasting Network.